two different files. I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens.
We've done this before. We've done this like record twice and see what happens. I know we have.
Sure.
But anyways, we're back. It's episode 27. And we're doing part 2 of Who Stays, Who Goes. Connor, did you grab a new scarf?
Nope.
Loser. I pulled out the only team that seems to never disappoint me. Return of the Mack.
Kentucky did not disappoint you today.
Yeah, but I don't have a UK scarf. I need to get one. They were given supporter scarves out at one of the games. But I pulled in. It was like a big top 25 matchup. Like West Virginia was, oh gosh, were they like number 3 and UK was number 7 at the time? It was massive. They're like, free scarves for the first 50 people. I pulled in, and I mean, there wasn't a single parking spot left in like 4 different lots. I was like, I'm just gonna go home and watch it on TV. So no scarf yet, but we'll get there. If you missed our last episode, we are taking a look at the players who are on loan, end of contract, people who may or may not be back on the team next year, and making decisions on what certain teams will be doing. So again, for example, I'll pull Inter Miami here is one that we did very recently, and it's right on my screen, right? So we go through and we say, okay, Indiana Vasiljev is on loan. Will he come back? I say no. Connor says no. Great. End of contract, but free agent possibility. Jay Chapman, Kelvin Leardam, John McCarthy, Victor Ulloa, Brett Shea. We'll go ahead and give you what our thoughts are and if they're going to come back or not. Spoiler alert, they're not. Blaise Matuidi, Ventura Alvarado, Robbie Robinson. Do any of those guys come back? We both say Robbie Robinson. So something like that. We'll go into a little bit more detail, but we're just going through the list and figuring out who needs to come back and who doesn't.
Yep.
Did I hit everything on the head?
Yeah, nailed it.
Rock on. So if I were to tell you, Connor, that this team took one of the greatest managers in the Eastern Conference and turned it into a joke of a team, and they missed the playoffs this year in the East, who would you think?
Toronto FC.
TFC, baby. Yeah. How dare you make Chris Armas look like a bad manager?
That was a given. As soon as you said good manager, I already knew Chris Armas.
You obviously. Nobody out on loan for TFC, or nobody on the team that is on loan. A few players that are going to be coming back, few players that are coming back actually, but here's the big one for us. End of contract free agent possibility. Omar Gonzalez, Patrick Mullins, Jonathan Osorio, Eric Zavaleta, Nick De Leon, and Tsubasa Endo. The latter of the two do not have team options. Everybody else does. So here's what I'm going to say. Omar Gonzalez is finally going to retire and not play. Patrick Mullins is a name that I have not heard much of this year because he has made, he made a bunch of appearances.
He made 25 appearances somehow. 25
appearances, most sub appearances, but 3 is, again, he's an attacking player for a TFC side that's been god awful this year, right? I think Patrick Mullins goes. I think they're going to open it up for some younger players. Jonathan Osorio, I feel like you have to bring him back. I feel like it'd be criminal not to, right? Especially if you got a team option on him. Yeah, bring him back. Eric Zavaleta, 12 starts, 2 sub appearances, 1 yellow, 1 red card. I'm going to say they finally let go of Eric Zavaleta because who are their center backs right now? You got Omar, who's
we're saying gone.
Kamar Lawrence played in a 3-back.
Chris Mavinga. That's it.
That's it. It would be very shocking to me if they don't go out and pick up a new one.
Yeah, I agree.
But because of how thin it is, and they got Luke Singh. Don't forget Luke Singh.
Of course.
I'm actually going to change my mind because I didn't realize how thin they were there. I'm going to say Eric Zavaleta comes back. Nick De Leon and Tsubasa Endo both do not come back. They didn't feature too much this year. De Leon 11 sub appearances, 600 minutes. Tsubasa Endo, 500 minutes. Didn't really make too much of an impact. The only person who is not free agent eligible, but is at the end of their contract on transfer market is our friend Ayo Akinola. And I know he's coming off the injury, but I think they would be really stupid not to bring him back. So I'm going to say he comes back. So to summarize, Osorio, Zabaleta, Akinola come back. Everybody else leaves.
Yeah, no, I think I'll go a little interesting on this one and say I agree fully with yours. The only difference is I'll say they don't bring back Zabaleta.
Okay, yeah,
I
I wouldn't be shocked if it's their out. Like I said, what'll be big for me is, are they going to spend 10 million on Insigne and have nothing left to buy anybody else? Or is Bob Bradley going to focus on going back to 2-back and go with Kamar on the outside, or even Kamar as a center back, right? With Larea on one side and Auro on the other? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I think with Bob coming in, I think they'll try to scrap the team as much as possible. But
Yeah,
you
start
got to
from
keep
scratch,
guys
right?
like Osorio and Akinola, though. They're staples.
Yeah, Osorio, it'd be criminal not to bring him back. I
Agreed.
agree. Okay, so that was an easy one. If I told you this team took a bunch of draft picks and college kids and turned it into the supporter shield, who'd you guess?
Do I even have to guess? You basically spelled the name of the team.
It's not the New York Red Bulls. I know that's what you're going to think.
The Revs.
The Revs. Go first.
All right. So 3 guys out of contract that are free agent eligible. We got Teal Bunbury, Scott Caldwell, and Brad Knighton. So I would say right off the bat, it's probably going to be Brad Knighton and Scott Caldwell not coming back. Yeah, I would say that. I would say those two don't come back. Teal Bunbury is an interesting one. Definitely a player that I think is pretty good, but didn't factor a ton. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go, but I'm going to say they bring him back just because Tajon's not going to be here next year. So I say they pick up the team option. He comes back. There's more availability on the wing now that Buchanan will be in Belgium.
Well, that and also Buxa might be going too. They need a striker.
Yeah. Yep. If Buxa ends up going to Leicester or wherever. So I think bringing back Teal Bunbury would be a good move for them. So then out of contract, non-free agent eligible, we have Matt Polster, Maciel, and Tommy McNamara. Timeout. Tommy McNamara made the second most appearances on the Supporter Shield winning team.
Bruce Arena, man.
He's doing it for the memes.
He's doing it for something.
So does Tommy McNamara just come back now? Like, I mean, he had 32 appearances, 21 starts. And they won the Supporter Shield.
Don't question the system.
So Matt Polster made 30 appearances, 27 starts. I think they get a deal done to bring him back. Maciel played a decent amount, got 19 appearances, 15 starts. My only concern is I think he would take up an international spot, but he's young. I say they find a way to keep him as well. And then Tommy Mack. Tommy Mack's an interesting one. I think they bring back Tommy Mack too. I bet they can get a good deal for him. I don't think he would probably cost a ton. And I think he obviously plays a good role in Bruce Arena's system. So I think bringing back those three guys who play a lot of game time. Although the one on that list that I would be open to changing my mind about is Martial. But I think Polster and McNamara, they find deals to get them back. So summary, I said Bunbury, Polster, Martial, McNamara come back.
I think this is going to be a quick one because I am exactly the same. Teal Bunbury is going to need to fill spots, like you said, for either
John.
Buchanan or Buxa or whoever's going to be there. Caldwell and Knighton are expendable. Matt Polster and Tommy Mack were the midfield pairing for the Supporters Shield. I can't even say that with a straight face.
Gotta love this league. You gotta love this league.
I know. And then Martial came from Botafogo in Brazil. Played with the Revs under 20, or the Revs, New England Revs 2, and started making some serious minutes here. You're looking at, you had Trouston, who was playing as like an inside midfielder in the 4-3-3, but I wouldn't be surprised to see, especially with Caldwell leaving, Martial filling that spot. So, well done. If I told you this team in the West absolutely fell apart after losing one of their best players.
Prior to losing one of their best players, I would say oh boy.
Come on.
SKC?
No.
I didn't think so.
LAFC.
It's true. They lost more than just one big player, though.
Yeah.
Right.
So Mishi Ngalina is on loan from Philadelphia. There's no purchase option. I don't see them trying to trade for him. I don't think he really did much for them this year. As we double check just to be sure. Yeah, he made 2 appearances. I don't see him doing much. Technically, Diego Rossi's out on loan. Just fun fact. But Seba Biaga, Raheem Edwards, Jordan Harvey. Seba Biaga, 13 appearances, and on the depth chart is 5th, behind even Michael Farfan. Seba Biaga's gone, even with a team option. Raheem Edwards is an interesting one. 50-50 on starts versus appearances, but didn't really produce much. I wouldn't be surprised if new head coach comes in and tries to find somebody with more influence in that spot. So I say Raheem Edwards is gone. Jordan Harvey is about 1 billion years old. And I can't even see him on this list.
He made 4 appearances.
Yeah, Jordan Harvey is at 37 years old. See ya. Now, non-free agent eligible players. I'm going to skip the first one, who is Carlos Vela, because that is a conversation in and of itself. Pablo Cisnega was hurt all year, or for the most of this year. And I think it has been brought up when we were having that conversation about you're picking Jamal Blackman or Cisnega as your backup to Thomas Romero, who is definitely coming back. They both made 8 appearances. Blackman was better than Cisnega. He's a bit older. Both take up international spots. I think they go Cisnega, and Blackman goes away. Then it goes Daniel Cristomomo, who didn't make an appearance all year. Nope, just kidding. He made 10 appearances, 5 starts, 5 subs, 0 goals, 0 assists, 2 yellow cards. See ya. And then Julian Gaines, 0 appearances. Adios. So then it brings us to our friend Carlos Vela. Carlos Vela thrives under Michael Bradley's dad.
Michael Bradley Sr.
Yep. Baldy number 1. Goes through an injury stint, comes back, 15 starts, 5 sub appearances, 5 goals, 5 assists. Once Diego Rossi left, he kind of fell off a cliff. Christian Arango has taken over the bulk of the attacking duties. Jose Cifuentes supplying him but from that spot. Edward Astuesta. Danny Mavovsky basically putting up the same numbers as Carlos Vela. Carlos Vela doesn't come back next year. I think Carlos Vela's out. With Bob going and wanting to have a new coach with a new system, I think he goes. I think he's out.
That is a bold statement, my friend.
It is. So to summarize, I've got 2 people returning: Cisnega and Romero, 2 goalkeepers. Everybody else is gone, and they're gonna strip it and redo it.
All right. I am going to say that Vela comes back.
Yeah.
I think they give it a shot with him and Aranjo. I think that could be his new Rossi partnership, and I think having Vela there will definitely make the transition for the new head coach a lot easier, because obviously he's an incredibly talented player. I get he's getting up there in age, but I still think he could easily put in a shift. And I think he'll do well with the attack that is there at the moment, and I'm sure they're going to build around it. I think they go with Blackman instead of Cisnega, but I do agree that it's a battle of who's going to play backup. I say Blackman in this case because I think he'll be cheaper, and they have the team option, so it's kind of locked in. There's not really negotiation. I think obviously they bring back Tomas Romero. I think that's just their starting number 1. And I said they'd take Julian Gaines back because he's only 19, so I figured they could just take him and put him in some youth team, but that doesn't really matter whether he stays or goes.
Yeah, that's not going to break your bank, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I say Vela stays. I say Blackman.
I think it is definitely. I feel like I can see that headline right now. Carlos Vela leaves after 4 years, X amount of goals, whatever. I can see it happening. Your NFL update: Pittsburgh and Detroit have tied.
Oh, terrible.
Love it.
I mean, the winless season is still on.
It is. It is. Again, for Detroit.
Yes.
If I told you this team in the East just had their heart broken on the last day of the season,
That would
you're a little
be
vague.
CF Montreal.
That would be CF Montreal. Well done. Okay. So, is this you first?
It is indeed.
Okay. No pressure.
All right. So, we got 2 players that are on loan at the club, neither of them with purchase options. We have Lossy Lapalainen and Sebastian Braza. All right, so Lapalainen, he is pretty young, did not make much of an impact with the team. Don't remember if he was injured or not. You can correct me if that is the case.
I feel like that conversation comes up every season.
It's just yeah. I mean, it's only 15 appearances, 7 is starting. Kind of figured he would have more of a role in there. I feel like without a purchase option here, I don't think they bring him back. So I'm gonna say he's gone.
For this season, by the way,
Yeah.
July 27th through September 13th, he was injured.
Okay, so I mean that's a pretty large amount of time that he was out. I mean, I think it throws it up in the air as to whether or not he comes back or not. I'm gonna say I'll stick with he doesn't, but would be less surprised if they did. And then Sebastian Braza, 23 years old, 8 appearances in goal. I don't think he's coming back because I think this is Pantemis's job to lose. And I think they already have Diop. So I think Diop will be the backup. So I don't see any reason to bring back Braza. Then end of contract, non-free agent eligible. A lot of young guys for Montreal here. So we got Zach Broad-Guillard. Definitely bringing him back. Rudy Camacho. I say they bring him back in this case. I know he's 30, going on 31 soon, but he made 31 starts, 31 appearances. I think he would be a good foundation in the back line just to keep some chemistry and consistency back there while a lot of the guys around him are a bit younger. Then we have Mathieu Chonier.
Nice. Good
No
pronunciation.
shot. What's that?
Good pronunciation.
That was my best guess. I think they bring him back. 22 years old, 26 appearances. Pretty self-explanatory. Joel Waterman on a team option. Joel Waterman, 25, made 22 appearances. I say with the team option, they bring him back also. Mustafa Kiza made 18 appearances, 7 starts. He's 22, so he's pretty young on a team option. I'm saying they bring him back as well. Clement Bahia.
Yeehaw.
22 years old defender. Right now I have him as coming back. I'm not so sure about that one anymore. I'm gonna switch that one. I'm gonna say they don't bring him back. I know he's young, but he didn't really factor in the team at all last season. And again, this doesn't tell me injuries, so people could have had some injuries and been out for a while. So I could absolutely be misreading it. Rita Zuhir. Gonna botch the rest of these names, I'm sure. Rita.
It's
Where
17 minutes all year.
Yep, but he's only 17 years old, so I think he'll come back. Jean-Anil Assi.
You were having so much fun.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I got all the French names. Where is he? Is he? I don't even know if he's on this list. I'm pretty sure he's really young, though.
Yeah, he didn't make any appearances either.
All right, I'm just going to double check. I'm pretty sure he's very young. He's 17 years old, so I have him coming back as well. And then Nathan Dylan Saliba, I think also may not have made any appearances, but also 17 years old. So I said he'd come back as well. So to recap, I have both players on loan not coming back. So Lapalainen and Braza, and I don't have Bahia coming back. Otherwise, I have everybody else coming back.
All right. I got Lapalainen not coming back. I have Braza as possibly coming back. I know there's no purchase option, but being a Canadian, I wouldn't be shocked to see him try and force a move out because I don't think he's getting time for Bologna anytime soon. But he did make 8 appearances here, and you know, Pantemis would be getting called into the national team a lot for World Cups or whatever. So if he can come in and try and, one, either learn from him, or 2, try and displace Diop, it wouldn't shock me. I'm not saying he's definitely coming back, but it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Camacho and Broad-Guillard both coming back. Chonier definitely coming back, been a really promising part of that team in the youth movement. Joel Waterman, not loving that he would come back, but I think he will. He's played a lot. I've never been the biggest fan of him, but here we are. Mustafa Kiza, I believe, will also come back. Definitely in the 3-4-2-1, 1-2, whatever shape that they like to play, fills that kind of wing back role pretty nicely. And then I have the rest of them not coming back. I know they're young, but I don't see any reason for them to, because they're not, it's not like they're taking these guys and selling them for millions, right? So these guys can go out and go to a Canadian Premier League team, and then they can sign them for a couple million later and move them on if they get that good, which is something we've seen a lot of Canadian youth players do.
Fair.
So
It's fair.
that is the way I would see that happening.
It's a bunch of 17-year-olds again. It's not gonna make or break decisions whether they go one way or another. So
correct. If I told you this team in the West,
yeah,
has some fans that are not massive fans of us.
I would guess it's the Loons.
Up the Loons. I'm just going to do a quick transfer here. Check to see if it is an 18-month loan, so he will be here to start next season.
All right.
So
Joseph Rosales will be back.
So he will be back. That is already decided. Great. Thomas Chacon's out on loan. You think he comes back? I sure hope so.
I hope he comes back, and I hope he stays with Minnesota for his whole career.
Me too. Doesn't get on the field.
Yeah, never plays a game.
Okay. Now we go into free agent eligibles, which are a lot of them. You got Fernando Adi, made 10 appearances, 9 subs, 1 goal. I'm going to say he goes out into free agency. Juan Agudelo, my boy. 1 start, 12 appearances, 0 goals in 200 minutes. See ya.
No, not Juan Agudelo. Come on.
That's all right. Him, Dax, Alex Maweel, they're all going back to Red Bull for one last push.
One last hurrah. Bring back all the old. Sasha Kleshton's coming back.
Yo, right to my veins. Michael Boxall is an interesting one now. 33, made 25 appearances. Brent Coleman, not that great. Yuka Raitala can slide into that spot. I'm gonna say Michael Boxall comes back on a 1-year deal. I would be shocked if he comes back for longer than that. All of their center backs are getting really old. They're hitting like Toronto FC aged center backs. Brent Coleman, I'll say, doesn't come back. He made 12 appearances this year. Or 13 starts, 7 subs, 2 goals. Good for him, but I think they try and improve in that spot. Yuka Raitala, Finnish international, 9 appearances, didn't really see the field too much. I would say he's gone. Will Trapp, I'll say, comes back. He made the most appearances for this team, no matter how much I dislike him, because Ozzy Alonso is about 90 and probably won't play too much longer. And they need somebody next to Jan Regus to be good. Adrian Zendejas is gone. Ozzy Alonso and Ethan Finley. I'm going to say Ozzy is gone. I don't think they pick up his option, or they don't try and renegotiate with him. 15 starts this year, lots of time on the sideline. So I'm going to say he doesn't come back. Ethan Finley is coming back, I think. 3 goals, 2 assists, though. Not great output for the guy, but I think they bring him back. Jan Regus definitely coming back. Dwayne St. Clair, my boy. Tough one here. Tyler Miller made that position his own after Dwayne got hurt. And before everybody jumps on our back, we know his name is Dane. It's a joke. God. I think he comes back because they need a backup, and he is probably one of the best they got. Ja'Cory Hayes, 15 appearances, 7 starts, 8 subs. I'm going to say he goes and somebody signs him out later. Justin McMaster, 7 sub appearances as a forward. See ya. So to recap, Joseph Rosales is staying. Boxall, Trap, Finley, Grey Goose, Sinclair all come back. Thoughts?
Hold on. I'm checking some stuff because I might have some interesting takes on this team.
There are a lot of ones here that wouldn't shock me one way or the other. Like I wouldn't be shocked to see Finley not come back, nor would I be shocked to see Michael Boxall not come back, or have them pick up a team option on Justin McMaster.
All right. I am probably about to make some more Minnesota United enemies for us.
Great. What do you got?
I am going to say Adi, Agudelo are gone. I think Boxall comes back.
Okay.
I say they keep Brent Coleman
Okay.
because I think they're going to get rid of Junko Raitala.
Okay.
So that will so then Coleman will still be a backup, and that still opens them up to get another center backup to replace Raitala.
Okay. Even though I think Raitala plays more outside, but he can go in the middle.
Either way, it still opens up a defensive spot for them to pick up.
Sure.
I think Will Trapp comes back.
Yep.
Then Dejas is gone. Ozzy's gone. And I do think they bring back Ethan Finley as well. Although I wouldn't be surprised to see that one flip, like you said.
Right. He has been very good for them, but as you know, he's on the wrong side of 30.
Mm-hmm.
And he is definitely moving down in terms of his production, right? 5 goal contributions this year after he had a much better year last year, right?
Yep. All right. I think Jan Grigor and Dane Sinclair do not come back next year.
Oh, why?
I think Grigor did not get a lot of game time at the end of that season. And he was seeing what transfer market had. He was hurt for a little bit with an ankle injury, but then he came back and he didn't play. In the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games of the season, he played once for 18 minutes and he was not injured.
Okay.
I don't remember if he's on a DP contract. I want to say he is, in which case I'm not keeping a DP to sit on my bench the entire season.
Come on, we did it with Gonzalo Verón.
Goodbye, Jan Grigor. Dane is an interesting one because I don't think he'll have the salary impact that Grigor should have. But I just think Dane is too good to be a backup. And I think for his own sake, he should look to get on a team like LAFC, for example. Go challenge for the starting spot there. Go challenge for a starting spot where you actually have a chance. Because I don't think he's getting that spot back from Tyler Miller unless Tyler Miller gets hurt. So I think Dane, while Minnesota definitely, I think, in my opinion, will make an attempt to bring him back, I think Dane, in my opinion, would be smart to go try to find another team where he can start. Because I think he's a starting level keeper in this league, and I'd like to see him get starting level minutes. So
I like that.
So I think those two are gone. And then I think Ja'Cory Hayes and Justin McMaster is also gone.
I now that you pitch that angle, which I think is a really good angle, it wouldn't shock me to see either of those two leave. None of them have team options. They have to renegotiate.
Mhm.
But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked to see Grigor go back to see. Here's the thing though, right? Is he a like international? Does he play for? I feel like he was in the Euros, wasn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays for like an Easter. He's Slovakian.
He's Slovakian, yeah.
Yeah.
So that alone, does that? I know he didn't play a ton, but if you can get him down off of a DP contract, do you keep him?
Ideally, yeah, but I can't see him dropping in salary that much.
Okay.
I mean, unless he loves Minnesota, in which case he would take
We all
price.
love Minnesota.
In which case he would take the price cut to stay there. But at the same time, he's taking up an international spot, and I doubt he's dropping super low in salary. I'm sure he's still taking up a hefty non-DP
Sure.
contract.
Sure.
I feel like you just kind of, as great as he was when he was playing and healthy, I think you kind of just wash your hands with it at this point and try again with someone new.
Okay. I think it's a really good good approach to it. I disagree, but I also don't, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
hey, if I told you this team is the best team in Florida, that didn't make any sense.
Not in Miami, I could tell you that much.
I was trying to poke at the fake rivalry between Atlanta and Orlando, but it didn't work very well.
So it's Orlando, is what you're telling me.
Yeah. So this is you first.
Yes, it is. All right. So there are no players that are on loan at Orlando right now, or at least none that are coming up this season.
Mhm.
End of contract that is free agent eligible. We have Tesho Akindele, Mason. I'll let you say that one.
Staj Juhar.
Staj Duhar, is that how it is? All right.
Nope, I don't know.
All right, good. That sounds good enough to me. And then we have Oriel Russell. So out of those guys, Tesho Akindele somehow made 32 appearances for this team last year, or this year. 15 starts, 3 goals, 6 assists. This is an interesting one. I really don't feel like I see Akindele coming back to this team, but he played so much for them, and it's a team option. If you assume DK is probably gone next season, and Nani gets another year older, meaning he may have more injury problems. Oh, and Chris Mueller's gone. I'm going to say they bring him back. I think there's a lot of potential for game time there because Mueller's going to be gone. DK potentially is gone. Nani gets older and potentially more injury prone. So I think if they're smart, they bring him back, at least for the depth. I know you got Benji Michel as well. So I think he comes back. Staj Duhar, on the other hand, is probably gone. 23, 5 appearances. And there we got Oriel Russell, who is kind of the odd man out in that midfield group. I think that position is just too stacked for him to come back to. I think he's probably gone. You got Junior Urso. You've got Andres Perea. You've got Mendez. I just don't see him factoring in much at all in that midfield, so I think he goes. Mauricio Pereira. Is he on a DP contract? Do you know?
I believe so. That would be. My computer ever decides to load. Good. Yes, he is.
Okay. Makes it a little bit more interesting. At the end of the day, I still think they bring him back on a short-term deal. I think if he wants to go long-term and he still wants a DP contract, you got to let him go. But I think short-term, you can probably get away with it. I think he's only 31. So I think Pereira comes back. Andres Perea, I think he's going to probably ask for a higher salary than he's already getting. I think you got to find a way to pay him. He's 21 years old. He's already played a huge number of minutes for your team. I think Orlando finds a way to get him back. Nani's an interesting one. I know we were talking about this earlier. My question with Nani would be, we talked about him possibly retiring with Orlando. Does he stay a DP the whole time? or does he drop down? It's kind of like falls into that Maxi Morales bucket again.
Mm-hmm.
I think they find a way to keep him. I don't know. I don't know if they keep him as a designated player or not, but I say Nani comes back. Pato.
The most disappointing signing of the year.
Yeah. I mean, he was hurt the whole year, so
No, it's just so criminal. It would have been so much fun to watch him play.
I think Pato's gone.
Me too.
Ruan. I think they should bring Ruan back. Team option, young player. He's played in your team a lot over the last 2 years. Emmanuel Moss. I think he's gone. I think takes up an international spot. Didn't play a ton. He's on the wrong side of 30. Adam Grinwis. Gone. Doesn't need much of an explanation there. Raul Aguilera. Probably gone. Rio Hope Gund. That is a lovely name, but I think you're gone as well. All right, so recap. I say Tesho Akindele comes back, Mauricio Pereira, Andres Pereira, Nani, and Ruan.
I agree with everybody except Mason. Mason's dead Juhar. They have let go of, or they let Brandon Austin go back to Tottenham. They loaned him in. And if we're going to say Adam Grinwis leaves, which I think is the right answer, you need to have a backup at some point. You're not going to go out and sign somebody just to be a backup. So I think with a team option, it's an easy pick to keep him on.
That's fair.
Really disappointed Alexander Pato didn't do anything. He had knee surgery on May 4th. So I wouldn't be shocked if that kind of just keeps him out forever. Like, I don't think he may not even play again, unfortunately. So everybody, yeah, Emmanuel Moss was just kind of like a fill-in when I think Matinho was hurt for a little bit. He's done. Grinwis is out. Aguilera is out. Real Hope Gun gone. Everybody else comes back. The thing I did want to say about Nani, I think Nani is the guy that you are going to play as a designated player until he retires. I mean, his output has not dropped enough where you can tell him no. But I wouldn't sign him to like a 4-year deal. I'd give him, 1-2 year deals if he wants to keep coming back at designated player value, so long as he keeps producing. Pereira, on the other hand, I think you also bring him back as a designated player. He was hurt this year, which is why his numbers look a little iffy. But we know that when he's at his best, this team is very, very good. So
yes, I agree.
Some notes on that. Moving on. This team is the bane of my existence from one game.
From 1 year?
One game, not 1 year, one game.
The bane of your existence from one game. Philly?
Nope, the Columbus Crew, because if they lose in 2008 and we win, I never have to hear anything from anybody for the rest of my life. But no, here I am, listening to the fact that I don't have a cup for the last 10 years. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Liam Frazier, he's on loan. I see him going back to Toronto, so he's not coming back. And you'll get Seb Berhalter back. It's a flip for flip. End of contract, free agent eligible. Saad Abdul Salam made 7 starts, 11 sub appearances, didn't do much. See ya. Derek Etienne, a very interesting one here. 21 starts, 8 sub appearances, 1 goal, 4 assists. I think Derek Etienne is let go. I think they're going to go out and get somebody to really fill that role properly. Waylon Francis at left back. Did they play with a left back this year? Yeah. Valenzuela was there.
Yeah, but I think he got hurt.
He did again. So now you're deciding between Valenzuela or Waylon Francis? I'm going to come back to that one. Marlon Hairston, 16 starts, 5 assists. I think they go and try and upgrade that spot. I think he's gone. Eric Hurtado gone. Josh Williams. God, I don't like you.
He didn't play as much as I thought he did.
No, he got hurt most of the way through the season. So did Vito. And like I said, they've got Abubakar Keita, Vito Wergmer. I wouldn't be shocked. Jonathan Mensah. I wouldn't be shocked he doesn't come back. BWP doesn't come back. Harrison Awful. Oh, man's 35 and still one of the best right backs in the league. Do I take him back? No, but I think they take him back on a 1-year deal. Evan Bush is gone. Now moving on. Pedro Santos comes back. Steven Moreira is an interesting one. Because he had 6 starts at left back. I believe that's where he was at. Hold on, let me just double check here. Right back, excuse me. So he was filling in for Harrison Awful, but he can play left back as well out of Toulouse. So I think what I would say, because he transferred in on August 23rd, so he's only been here a couple months. But what I'll say is Steven Moreira comes back. Waylon Francis is out. Milton Valenzuela comes back, assuming his injury wasn't that bad. I didn't read too much up on that injury there. So let me just check on that one real quick. This professional podcast is ready to go. So yeah, he had a hamstring injury that kept him out till September, and then he started working his way back in. But he's got a bad hamstring. He's missed 20 games for hamstring injuries over the past 2 years. But I think he's still better than Waylon Francis. So I think Valenzuela comes back. Eli Room and Miguel Berry both come back because Miguel Berry has been the best player in the last month in the league. Eric Dick and Grant Lillard both out. So to summarize, Harrison Awful comes back. Valenzuela, Santos, Moreira, Eli Room, and Miguel Berry all come back.
Well, I can make this a pretty quick one. I said the same thing, except I said they don't bring back Harrison Awful.
Okay. I think this is one of those things we're going to say they're going to let Harrison Awful play until he decides he's not playing anymore.
Maybe. He's been there long enough that he probably has earned that, but
yeah,
I think they try to I'll be interested to see if they try to fire Porter this offseason. I don't think that's the right move, but
I think he's got another year.
Now,
if he starts off the next season and he's like 0-7,
yeah, he's gone. But I don't see that happening. They were pretty hot to end the year. I think they'll carry that on, but that'll be another episode.
I think. Yeah. So that was a halfway point. We got 7 more teams to go. This team was the biggest disappointment in the West this season.
Yeah, for you.
They just were.
Houston Dynamo.
The Houston Dynamo. I can't believe it.
They were your biggest disappointment. I didn't have high expectations for them.
You should have.
No, definitely shouldn't have.
Okay. Your game.
All right. So players on loan, potentially players on loan at Houston at the moment are Adalberto Carrasquilla.
Nice. That was almost kind of good.
Carrasquilla. Is that better?
Carrasquilla.
So no purchase option. He's pretty young, only 22. Didn't play a ton. It's an interesting one. I might come back to that one. So I think I want to look at where he was playing and if he'd missed any time with injuries. But I will, while I look that up, I will move on to the end of contract. We're free agent eligible. So we have Darwin Suren, Maynard Figueroa, Fafa Pico, and Boniek Garcia. Boy, if I remember correctly, that's a pretty old list right there.
You do. You remember that very correctly.
All right, Darwin Spread. I think got 25 appearances, 13 as a sub. Might be a conversation of him versus Boniek Garcia in this case. And seeing as how Boniek Garcia is 37 million years old and only made 16 appearances, I'm going to say they keep him, especially with the team option, and Garcia's gone. So Boniek Garcia's out. Maynard Figueroa is like the grandfather of Boniek Garcia. 13 appearances, still manages to get 9 starts. This is why Houston finishes rock bottom, because you give 9 starts to Maynard Figueroa. I mean, all logic says no, he doesn't come back. But this is Houston. He's been here forever. He's just going to stay on Houston until he's like in his 50s. So, I mean, I'm going to say he's gone because logic says he should be. Fafa Pico comes back because he's like the only person who did anything attacking wise for this team. All right, and a huge list here of end of contracts. Actually, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna check Carrasquilla really quick.
Well, he doesn't have a purchase option, so that'd be a tough one to get across the line.
Yeah, potentially. He missed like a huge chunk in the middle, but it doesn't look like it was an injury unless it wasn't disclosed. So I'm going to say he doesn't come back. Purchase option, I say he probably does, maybe does, but I'm going to say he doesn't. All right, and a big list here of end of contract, non-free agent eligible. We start off with Maxi Uruzi. It's a tough one. He's a journeyman. Again, one of their better attacking players, but how much does that really say with how bad Houston was this season?
Fair.
I think he comes back, but wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't. Matthias Vera, another midfielder. I think he comes back. He played a lot for them last season. Still hitting the prime of his career. So Memo Rodriguez, he comes back. That's an easy one for me. Memo's one of their better players. Marco Marich, your favorite player. So Marco Marich, obviously, as we know, your favorite goalkeeper in the league, even more so than Luis Robles. I think he's gone. In my opinion. Despite the fact that he was the starter and he's not too old, he's only 25. I think without a team option and them finishing it dead last in the West, I think they try to restart. They gotta fix something somewhere, and I think that's a good spot for them to fix. So I think team option, they pick him up, but without it, I think he's gone. Tyler Pasher, you better bring him back because that would be criminal if you don't. Darwin Quintero, I think he's past. Sorry, Adam, cover your ears. I think he's past his best days back in Minnesota. He played 20 times for them this season, 9 starts. I think Quintero is still productive. I think he's definitely too old for this Houston team. I think he's gone. And Sam Junko. Sam Junko. Doesn't look like he made an appearance at all.
He made 22, but
did I miss that?
You definitely did.
Oh yeah, I did. Okay, I see that. 22 appearances, 18 starts at 25. I'll say they bring him back. Griffin Dorsey. 17 starts, 20 appearances, team option. Griffin's coming back. Ari Lassiter. Ari Ari. 19 appearances, only 4 starts. Assuming Ari Lassiter takes up an international spot, I'm going to say he doesn't come back. Okay, and then Alejandro Fuenmayor played 3 games this season. Was he hurt? I don't remember if he was hurt.
He was, if I remember correctly, he might have picked up something.
Yeah, I'll let you take a look. You let me know.
Oh, thanks. That's very nice of you.
Yeah, I'll grant you that. Fuenmayor.
Yeah, he wasn't hurt this year.
Cool. All right, I think he's gone then. Kyle Morton is
Goalkeeper.
check. Yeah, I'm checking if they got a back. Okay, yeah, they got Michael Nelson, so Kyle Morton's gone. Nico Lemoyne, 21 years old, 1 appearance, probably gone. Ian Hoffman, 20 years old, 6 appearances. Probably gone. And then Juan Castilla, I think, comes back. He's only 17. Got a little bit of game time this year. I think that he's got some future with them. I think he'll come back. All right, so to recap, because Houston's got a long list of names here. We got Darwin Surin coming back, Fafa Pico, Maxi Uruzi, Matthias Vera, Memo Rodriguez, Tyler Pasher, Sam Junko, Griffin Dorsey, and Juan Castilla. That's what I got.
Okay. So I'm going to blow up a lot of Houston fans here. That whole Darwin Surin, Bonet Garcia, Maynard Figueroa, like that whole list of people who have been there 900 years, all gone. Yeah. Blow it up. You don't get to finish that low in the Western Conference and not blow something up. And you can't, you got to get rid of those guys who have been there forever. You know, whenever they're ready to call it a day, sign a 1-day contract, retire them as legends, because they are. But they got to go. So Fafa Pico is the only one on that list that comes back to me. I think Maxi Uruzi comes back. But again, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go. Vera and Memo Rodriguez both come back. I think Marich is out and they go and try and get somebody who isn't a traffic cone. I think Tyler Pasher comes back, but wouldn't be shocked to not see him back. He blew up in the beginning of the season, and I didn't hear much of him after that.
Yeah, I think he got hurt.
That's exactly what I'm checking right now. Yeah, ankle injury. He missed 4 games, but that was towards the end of the year. If we look at his games this season, he also just made the national team. So I wouldn't think that he's going to I wouldn't think that he's going to get cut right after that, but yeah, he picked up a bit of a knock in May, and then a bit of an ankle injury in August, but then he just straight up didn't make the squad. Then he played, sub minutes after that. That was after his little blow up in there. I say he comes back, but I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't. Darwin Quintero's out. Sorry, Adam. Sam Junko's back. Griffin Dorsey's back. Ari Lassiter, Fuenmayor, Morton, Lemoyne, and Castilla are all gone for me. And I believe Ian Hoffman comes back. I think Ian Hoffman, he's in like the Cologne system for a little bit, worked his way up through the German ranks, and then came on over this way. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him, give him another year at Houston too, and give him another run.
Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, a lot of opportunity here to completely change this team.
And they need to. You don't get to finish that low without blowing something up. Yeah. This team, my friend, thinks that they are a rival of Red Bull when we just simply do not care.
Thinks they're a rival Red Bull. Well, I don't think FCC think they're a rival. So I'm gonna assume it's Philly.
It is Philly. They got a small club mentality. So on loan is Matthias Davo, who does have a purchase option, and he came from Corinthians, a very big name club over in the likes of Brazil. We go to Philly here, and we notice that Mr. Davo made one appearance all season long. See ya. Big ones here. Ali Bedoya, Joe Bendick, Jack Elliott, Alvis Powell, Ilsinho, thank God, and Aurelian Collin all out of contract at the end of the year. Jack Elliott comes back to the dismay of many, 33 appearances this year. Oh, Ale Bedoya, Jamiro Montero, Leon Flock, and then you've got about 900 youth midfielders that can fill those ranks. It's a team option, but I'm going to say they turn him down. I think Ale Bedoya is gone. A tough one, definitely a tough one, but Joe Bendick gone. They can keep Matt Freese as the backup. Alvis Powell gone, Ilsinho gone, and never to step foot in MLS again, or at least MLS Cup playoffs. Like, just keep him away. And the last one there was Aurelian Collin. Did he see the field this year? I don't think so. We'll say goodbye to our friend Aurelian. The only other person who is non-free agent eligible but end a contract is Jacob Glesnes, and he made mucho appearances for this team. So you're going to sign him back to keep that partnership together. So to summarize, Jack Elliott and Glesnes are the only two that come back. Everybody else, see ya.
Yeah, the only one I'm even considering is Ali Bedoya, and it's not like I would consider him personally. I would get rid of him, but I just wonder if they keep him as a veteran presence on the team and like help kind of bring up the youngsters. I just think that he's too expensive to do that with. I imagine his contract is probably pretty pricey. So
yeah, unless he wants to take a cut, but I don't think he will. So I say he's out.
Yeah, I don't know where he would go though. I can't imagine some other team picking up him on a high salary. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I think Bedoya is probably gone. Well, it's tough. He made so many appearances for them.
Like I said, it's not like he didn't feature, right? But I think you've got, you got the Quinn Sullivans, the Jack McGlynn's, the Paxton Aronsons that you're getting ready to sell on, Anthony Fontana, right? All these people that you're getting ready to sell on. And if that's going to be your model, Ali Bedoya doesn't fit that model, right?
I'm actually going to change my mind. I'm going to say they keep Ali Bedoya.
All right. So everything I just said.
I think I think everything you said is spot on. That they'll kind of play them a bit and then sell them on. I think if they sell them on mid-season, Ali Bedoya is a good player to just jump in and soak up those minutes if they're gone. And like I said, I do think he can provide a bit of leadership and coaching to the young guys that are coming through, because I do feel like a lot of them are midfielders or play somewhat in the midfield, like Paxton, Quinn Sullivan, even like Leon Flock, Jack McGlynn. So I think.
How long are you taking back for?
Not long at all. A year at most. I'm assuming the team option was just like another year. So I think they just exercise the team option for a year, and then when his contract is like actually done, then he probably retires.
Yeah, that's not too bad. But okay, this team I really don't have something cool to talk about because they just exist.
Brassel Lake.
No, SKC. I just feel like there's never anything to talk about with SKC, you know.
They were what, third place in
Yeah,
the
but
West?
they're always top 3 in the West. Like it's not like it's like talking about Seattle. It's like
You're a hater. You're an
You're-
SKC hater.
you're a loser.
All right, I'll take this one. So we got no players on loan with the loan coming up this season. End of contract, free agent eligible. We've got Illy Sanchez, Roger Espinosa, Kendall McIntosh, and Graham Zusi. All of these players combined have an average age of the dinosaurs. I'm being definitely a bit dramatic, but
Not
Illy
wrong.
Sanchez, which that?
Not wrong though.
Yeah, probably not. Illy Sanchez plays a bunch of games for them. I remember him being pretty versatile for them this season. They got a team option. I think he comes back. He's only 30, about to be 31. So I think he comes back. Roger Espinosa is an interesting one. Again, a guy that gets a ton of minutes. He is 35, so he's well beyond the wrong side of 30. It's not a team option. It's an interesting one. He's been with the team for a long time, I feel like, or it's felt like a long time. I don't actually know if it has been.
I think he had 2 stints because he went over to
Vegan, I think, right?
Wigan. Did you say Wigan?
I don't know why I said vegan.
Goodness me, I'm clipping
We've
that.
been
and
recording
posting it
for too long.
everywhere. You're done for. Oh my god.
All right. Anyway, I don't know if he comes back, honestly.
I think he goes right back to Wigan.
Yeah, not Wigan, Wigan.
Yeah, you're in trouble, man. I'm doing that. You're gonna have to deal with that for a while.
Oh, whatever. Dwayne. I'm gonna say he's gone. I wouldn't be surprised to see them bring him back on a very short-term deal if he agreed to it, but I think at 35, I mean, they have other young midfielders that can get some time. I mean, they have the gambler, Felipe Hernandez. They've got Cameron Duke. You know, they've got other guys that can step in and take those minutes. Remy Walter. So I'm going to say Espinosa is gone. Kendall McIntosh is gone. Yeah. So I think they'll stick with, as much as you don't like him, I think they'll stick with John Pulskamp as at least the backup.
I don't mind John Pulskamp.
You are not a John Pulskamp fan.
I mean, I don't mind. It's not like I hate him.
Oh, man. Graham Zusi, man. Graham Zusi. Graham. I'm going to say they find a way to bring him back on a cheaper deal, short term, 1 year, something. Just he retires probably the end of next season. So I think Zusi comes back. Jalen Lindsay. Oh, sorry. Next list, non-free agent eligible, end of contract. Jalen Lindsay. I can't see any reason why he doesn't come back. Still pretty young, still getting minutes. I think he comes back. Luis Martins on a team option. Luis Martins had the most appearances. That's an easy one. He's coming back. And before he's gone. Roberto Puncec. I mean, based on where he is in terms of top 10 center backs, I mean, you got to figure he's coming back, right?
I can't believe that Adam said that. And he literally
and then he went and made 3 appearances all year. Puncec is gone. Felipe Hernandez, after the whole betting thing, I'm sure he's gone. Graham Smith made no appearances. Let me say he's gone. Amadou Dia, did nothing. He's gone. And Wilson Harris made 9 appearances. He's 21. I think he's gone too. So recap. I've got Illy Sanchez, Graham Zusi, Jalen Lindsay, and Luis Martins coming back next year for SKC.
Okay. Illy Sanchez comes back. Espinosa and McIntosh are both out. I think Graham Zusi's out, and here's why. They've been trying to transition Jalen Lindsay into that role for a little bit now. And they just signed in May an outside back as another homegrown player to kind of continue the cycle. Had they kept Matt Beasler and Seth Sinovic and that whole thing, or just like, hey guys, go retire together, I'd say he comes back. But because they're just starting to ship them all out, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not back next year, which hurts, but you're going to have big names in the MLS free agent pool this year. And I think he's going to be one of them. Jalen Lindsay obviously needs to come back. He's going to do that. Luis Martins made all the most appearances out of anybody this year, played in every game. So I would assume he's coming back. Roberto Puncec is gone after being ranked the 6th best center back in the league by a certain co-host who I think realized his mistake and just up and left after that. Felipe Hernandez, I think, gets his contract terminated or not renewed or whatever for what he did. Graham Smith and Namadou be out. I think Wilson Harris comes back, 9 appearances as a homegrown striker. Let him learn under Polito and Shallowy and all that and see if you can turn him into something. Team option, why not? But yeah, I think Graham Zusi's out.
It's interesting.
It's just time to move on from that whole thing, right?
No, I get it. I don't know if I can picture him on another team. So I just feel like, and I do agree that they need to transition. I just still feel like they could do it if he's there. I think that's why if he takes a cheaper deal, I think he sticks around for another year, helps like Jalen kind of transition into the starting role. And I know they got that other homegrown that they just signed. So I think that experience there would help. And then he could ride off into the sunset after that. But we'll see what happens. Who's up next?
This team just lost the greatest player ever.
The greatest
USMNT player ever.
Oh, San Jose.
Correct.
Chris won.
Man, it was so awful to see them put like this whole 5-minute video together, like thanking him for all of his time in MLS. And every comment is, but you missed against Belgium. Like, fuck you. We know he missed against Belgium. Oh, can't say that. Bleep it out.
We'll cut it out.
I don't think anybody's listening this deep into the episode anyway. I think we're okay.
Was this from San Jose or was it from USMNT account?
It was from both, actually.
Okay. I could understand that on the USMNT account, but on the San Jose one, that has nothing to do with San Jose. There's no reason you should comment that on there. So looking at sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're on.
I was just gonna say, looking at his men's national team performance like separately, definitely nothing you have to like tiptoe around. Like he wasn't anything special with the men's national team.
Yeah, like I said, he wasn't bad, but he was at a time where we were kind of transitioning the whole thing.
Yeah. Take it away, Penny.
So 2 players on loan for San Jose, Chofis Lopez and Osvaldo Anis. Alanis came back on loan again this year. And what I'm looking for is to see, and I don't think either of them have purchase options. But here's what I'm going to say. I think Matias Almeida does something to get both of them in. And they both come back because Chofis Lopez was one of the best number 10s in the league this year in bursts, right? He had his ups and downs, but in bursts, he was one of the best number 10s in the league. And Alanis was, and again, this is to my knowledge, right? I did a quick search and couldn't find anything. Usually it pops up like, oh, they got a purchase option. We're good. But yeah, Trophy's 12 goals, 3 assists. Second best rated player in the team. Alanis, 25 appearances, 2 goals. I wouldn't be surprised to see both of them come back because Alanis and Nathan played together pretty consistently, and Nathan was fantastic the last little bit there. And they play, yeah. I'm gonna actually change that. I'm gonna say Alanis does not come back. I don't think they can get both of them, but they can get trophies. End of contract. Shea Salinas with a team option. Man, that dude's got to retire with Chris Wando. He can't just.
You can't just keep going.
Yeah, I don't think Shea. I think Shea Salinas come. No, man. Shea Salinas and Matt Bersano both do not come back. Shea Salinas is 35, and he made 27 appearances. He can still play. Yep, Shea Salinas is coming back unless he retires. They're going to try and sign him back, but he might retire. Now you're looking at this. Now, see, this doesn't make any sense. How is Cade Cowell end of contract? Like,
and nobody signed him on a free.
90 teams would have tried to sign him on a free by now. So that might.
It's probably not an actual end of contract, is
right.
my guess.
Cade Cowell.
That's why it's like the non-free agent eligible section is my guess.
Cade Cowell. No, I don't see. So in 2019, he signed a contract. Five-year contract on January 18th, 2018. So yeah, he's not out of contract. Marcos Lopez. When he played, he was good. We'll do this. JT Marcus Jankowski comes back. Benji's doesn't come back. Abakasis. Abakasis. I'm going to say doesn't come back, and they. Yeah, Abakasis doesn't come back. Marcos Lopez does come back. Jacob Akinyaridj, whatever that is. No appearances. Jack Shakan, no appearances. The single worst goalkeeper to ever put gloves on in MLS, gone. And George Asamani. Actually, I'm going to change that. George Asamani's gone, but Jack Shakan, I think, comes back. Thoughts? So to recap, Shea Salinas, Chofis, Lopez, Marcinkowski, and Sakan all come back. Thoughts?
I think I'm just looking up on George Asamani really quick. Okay. All right. I think I agree on the loan players. I think they get Chofis Lopez back. I think they have to. They got to get him back. I don't think they bring back Alanis. End of contract, I think Shea Salinas comes back. I think even if he doesn't retire, having the team, if he didn't have the team option, now all of a sudden it gets really interesting. But with the team option, I think they bring him back for sure, at least for probably another year, and then he probably retires as well. Matt Bersano, gone, in my opinion, as well. I think he's out. Marcos Lopez, I think he comes back. JT Marcinkowski, I think he comes back. I think Benji stays. I know you said, yeah. He made 17 appearances. He's only 21, and he's got a team option. So I think they pick it up.
He scored 4 goals? Okay. That might change my I didn't think he did much of anything because I never remember hearing his name, but
Yeah, I didn't hear the name much either, but I think
yeah, team option. I'll bring him back.
yeah, I think he comes back. Abacasis, Akindele, Skahan. How'd you pronounce that?
Skahan.
Skahan. Daniel Vega and George Asamani, I think, are all gone.
I really hope Daniel Vega's gone.
I think Vega's gone. He's 37. Didn't play. He's gone.
All right.
Also, side note, JT Marcinkowski on assists this year. Shout out JT. Oh, I remember that. He like punted one out to Cade Cowell, and Cade Cowell torched.
He just ran with it. Yeah. This team is a bunch of heartbreakers.
Well, I'm gonna say it's RBNY.
No, it's RSL.
Are they a bunch of heartbreakers? They made the playoffs. Oh, because they broke other hearts. I thought they were.
It's like you weren't there for decision day. Oh wait, you weren't because you left.
I saw them score, but I thought you were talking about them breaking their own fans' hearts.
No. Okay, Anderson Julio, you're first, right?
Yeah. Does he have a purchase option?
I'll take a look. We can come back to it.
Alrighty. End of contract for Real Salt Lake. We got Ashton Morgan, Marcelo Silva, Donnie Toya, Justin Marum, and Albert Rusnak. I'm just gonna say off the bat, you have to find a way to get Rusnak back. So that's a yes for me. He comes back. I think Justin Marum. That is an interesting one. He's kind of like a super sub for them. Made 15 starts though, 31 total appearances. He's kind of a journeyman lately. I think he comes back. I think they find a way to bring Marum back. I think he played a bunch and probably deserves to come back. Ashton Morgan barely played. Don't know if he was hurt. Gonna say he doesn't come back. Marcelo Silva. 20 games, 20 starts. Marcelo Silva on a team option. Ashton Morgan, where do you go? Oh, come on, stupid thing. So I kind of figure either one of Ashton Morgan or Donnie Toya is probably going to stay. And seeing as Donnie Toya had 19 appearances, 15 starts, I'm going to say Morgan's out, Toya stays. And Marcelo Silva, what am I doing with you? Well, Justin Glad will be at center back. I don't know who else will play. I'm going to say Silva comes back. Marcelo Silva on the team option comes back. Out of caution, Justin non-free agent eligible. Justin Glad on a team option absolutely comes back. Andrew Putna is there a backup? Yeah, Putna. Oh boy, yeah, Putna's gone. I got Zach McMath as the backup, and Bodie Davis. Bodie. Did not make any appearances. Gonna say he's gone.
Okay.
So summary. Oh well, Anderson Julio. No purchase option. Okay.
I don't think you get him back.
Anderson Julio. He only made 10 starts, but he had 30 appearances. He did get 8 goals. I'm gonna say no purchase option. They don't bring him back. With a purchase option, I would actually say yes, but without it, I don't think they do. So recap, I got Marcelo Silva, Donnie Toya, Justin Marum, Albert Rusnak, and Justin Glad coming back for RSL.
I agree with everything except Justin Marum. I think they let Justin go.
Yeah, I could see that.
And they try and, they either try and bring somebody in, right? Because I think they understand that there may be a piece away. from being proper contenders in the West, right? Is Justin Marum your winger to do that?
No, definitely not.
Don't think so.
He's definitely just a depth player on your team.
Yeah. Jonathan Menendez is kind of building into that, but you need a second. So I think they go ahead and they try and get that out. So I think Mirum's out. They use that money to find somebody else.
We are down to two.
We're down to
Two
two.
of your favorite teams.
This team is the greatest team in the league.
FC Cincinnati.
FC Cincinnati. You're damn right. This is me first, right?
Yep. I'm glad you get to take them first.
This is easy. Everybody's gone. Blow it up and go again. Gustavo Vallecilla didn't see a purchase option for him, but he was their sixth best player last year. Gustavo Vallecilla, he was a center back who scored 2 goals.
You tell me he played for Dallas, I believe you.
Yeah, I don't think they get him back. I feel like it'd be a nice to have, but I don't think he comes back. They don't bring Medunjanin back. I think he was more of a sub guy. I mean, it was half and half really, but 36. I don't think he comes back. Chris Duval, it's criminal that man didn't get more appearances, but he's gone. Nick Hagland. Oh my God, they're gonna bring him back. I could feel it. My bones. Yeah, on a team option, Nick Hagland comes back. Alvaro Barreal comes back, 22 under 22. Alan Cruz is gone. The guy who was the guy last year, 1 goal in 22 appearances. I don't think he played much of the end of that season. I think Alan Cruz is gone. Joe Gao. Like, it'd be very easy for me to say everybody's gone. But realistically, I think Joe Gao will come. They'll try and get Joe Gao to come back. I think Brennan Vasquez and Caleb Stanko are both out. Vasquez only 6 starts, but 4 goals. It would be very funny if he's like, yeah, Brennan Vasquez 3rd in goals. Very nice. Yeah, I'd say Joe Gao's gone. Caleb Stanko's gone. Vanderwerf was brought in to be like the start of the rebuilding of the back line that has gone to absolute doo-doo. So see you later. I'd have to say. Where is he? I don't even see him on here.
He made an appearance.
Was he hurt?
I will look that up for you.
I think he must have been hurt. But either way, he's gone. Teton comes back because they literally have no other goalkeeper, and that's not the answer to your problems. Edgar Castillo, did he step on the field this year? 12 times? Yeah, Edgar Castillo on a team option at left back behind Radon Matarrita. I think Edgar Castillo's gone. Ben Lunt is gone, even though he got into a really cool fight with some what do you call them? Reporters. They were tweeting about him. He didn't like that, so he told them to screw off. Zico Bailey comes back, scoring at the heartbreak. And Beckham Sunderland, I think, comes back. I've heard good things about him being high potential. To summarize, Hagland, Barreal, Gao, Teton, Bailey, and Sunderland come back. Everybody else is gone.
All right, I'm gonna say. All right, so I think I agree with what you said about Vallecilla. I think it would be nice to bring him back, but I don't think they do it. I think Medunjanin and Duval are gone. I agree. I think Hagland gets picked up with the option. Yeah. Barrial's back. Agreed. Cruz is gone. I think Joe Gao's gone. I don't think they bring him back.
I would hope Joe Gal's gone. I just don't know where this front office is going. If they're going to blow it up or they're going to try and piece it together. Because on paper, this team isn't bad. Their attack looks okay. Their back line's shaky, but that's the majority of MLS teams anyway.
Their back line's very shaky. I think they blow it up. To be honest,
I hope they blow it up. I'd love to see another rebuild go wrong.
Well, they have some promising pieces here. You've got to build better around them. So I think Cruz is gone, Joe Gao's gone, Vasquez is gone, Stanko's gone, Vanderver's gone. I think Titone's gone. Only because
Vermeer, stop it.
They played Vermeer over him anyway. So I don't think
they basically switched off every game.
Yeah, they both were bad. I mean, listen, at some point you're gonna have to move on from Titone anyway, and you're stuck with
Vermeer 34 and 35.
Yeah, and you're stuck with Vermeer. Like he's still under contract. So unless you're planning on moving Vermeer, then you sign Titone back. Yeah, exactly. But who's taking Kenneth Vermeer? So I think you're stuck with Vermeer, and you have Cody Cropper on the team technically.
He is on loan. Yeah, you could bring him back. I don't know how he didn't get a start over these two.
Where did they send them? They sent them out on loan.
Yeah, they sent him to hold on, I'll check.
All right. Regardless, I think Cody Cropper definitely throws his name in the hat. Plus you have Beckham Sunderland. Titone's days are numbered. This is a golden opportunity for you to have for you to move on from him. Edgar Castillo, he's gone. Ben Lund is gone. And then I think Bailey and Sunderland come back also, like you said.
Memphis 901. He went with Tim Howard.
I don't know why. Cody Cropper should be challenging for that starting spot.
He is going back to the MLS pool. This is such a weird transfer. He went from Cincinnati to the MLS pool, then MLS pool to Memphis 901, which isn't an MLS team. And at the end of this loan, he'll go back to the MLS pool. And my guess is go back to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I guess so.
This is weird.
Also, I got an update for you on Vanderwerf. So he was out injured for the whole year with pubalgia.
That's
don't know.
very.
It is a chronic groin lesion.
Ouch.
So he was out injured the entire year. I imagine he's probably gone.
Yeah. I just don't. I can see them moving on from Titone if they get the right person in the door. But man, if you're gonna put all your chips in with Kenneth Vermeer, you're just asking for fans to throw things at you. All right, this team is winning MLS Cup this year.
Atlanta United.
No. The New York Red Bulls. And it falls to you, does it not?
Yes, I lead it off.
Okay.
You get to take home on your favorite team.
Yeah, I need to I'm gonna go ahead and start just Googling really quick if any of these guys have purchase options, so we can come back to them if you'd like.
Yeah, I think that would help in determining some of these. I will say, obviously, Caden is gone. He will move to Leipzig at some point. All right, so end of contract. We'll start there. End of contract, free agent eligible. Some big names on this list. Sean Davis, Danny Royer, Aaron Long, and Ryan Mera. You're out of your mind if I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but in my opinion, you're out of your mind if you let Sean Davis walk. I think you bring him back. You find a way.
Which is hilarious to think that was the case 2 years ago. If you told me 2 years ago we'd be fighting for this guy not to leave, I would have laughed at you.
Danny Royer, I think, is gone. Aaron Long on a team. Aaron Long has been battling injuries for what feels like forever now. But with a team option, I think he's back. Ryan Mera. This is an interesting one. Did he play it? He did not play at all last season. I think Ryan Mara's gone, despite him having a team option. I think we'll come back to Carlos Cornell in a minute, depending on whether or not he has a purchase option. But I think Mara, at this point, you kind of just move on, let a youngster come in and be the backup at this point. It could be Luca Lewis, Anthony Marcucci, somebody else. All right, so the end of contract, non-free agent eligible. Kyle Duncan, he's got to come back. Jason Pendant. He's gone. Isair Drame.
We signed him, and I don't think he ever got over to play a game yet.
Yeah, doesn't look like he played a game. Do you know how old he is?
Young. He's like 22. Played through France for a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like he was with Lyon at one point.
Yes.
He only played 3 games for Red Bull too. I think he's gone. All right, so then we've got Anthony Marcucci and we've got Luca Lewis. I think, oh boy, do they bring back both? Yeah, I mean, Luca Lewis jumps out as the one that I would favor more. But Anthony Marcucci, or AJ, does he go by AJ? Is that why that's there?
AJ, what's that? I'm sorry.
Does he go by AJ instead of Anthony?
Yes.
Okay, so AJ Marcucci. He's on a team option. He's a bit older than Luca Lewis. Both of them got no appearances last season. I don't know if both come back. I'm gonna make a decision on this, but then I'm gonna listen to what you say on that one. So I think you'll have a bit more knowledge on this one. But I'll say Luca Lewis comes back and Marcucci doesn't. For loan stuff, any updates on purchase options?
As of right now, I've got Fabio, Coronel, and Lucas Monzon on purchase options. Edwards, Cornell, and Edwards, Gutman, and Diarra not on options. And of course, no Caden Clark.
My gut, I mean, obviously, Edwards, Fabio, Cornell, and Gutman are the 4 to look at here. I think Diarra and Monzon are not coming back. Maybe Monzon. I know he's young with a purchase option, so maybe, but he played 1 game, so I'm going to say no. Caden's obviously gone. So Tom Edwards, Fabio, and Carlos Cornell. I don't think they're able to sign all 3. I'd be surprised. It's one of the reasons why I think for sure Gutman's gone. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to sign Gutman back, especially with no purchase option. Oh boy. Tom Edwards was so versatile for the team this year. And he's young. But Fabio and Cornell come from within the system. And they're both pretty young and played more than Tom Edwards. As much as I don't like to say it, because I would like to see him come back. I think they bring back Fabio and Cornell, but I don't think Tom Edwards comes back. So I got, summarize, I got Fabio, Cornell coming back, Sean Davis, Aaron Long, Kyle Duncan, and Luca Lewis.
Okay, so the way I think this is going to play out after everything I've been reading and following, they're going to push to get Tom Edwards over here. I think Tom Edwards likes being here. I think he fits the system very well, and I think he's a good piece. And I think they're going to try and push. I'm going to say he comes back. Fabio and Cornell better get over here, depending on how big it is. I have been told Cornell is already here. It hasn't been announced because outside the window or whatever, but I've been told that there is a verbal agreement that he's going to be here. Fabio, depending on what the numbers look like, I mean, it's a second division in Brazil. It's not like he's, and something massive. Lucas Monzon is going to stay because he's through the end of the 2022 season. So he'll come back. Clark, Gutman, and DR are gone, I think. Sean Davis comes back. He was one of the best players for us in midfield this year. Aaron Long comes back because he was injured. Danny Royer, unfortunately, is gone. And I believe Ryan Mera would be gone as well, which hurts because I love Ryan. But I believe he's gone as well. And Kyle Duncan's gone, not because they won't re-sign him, but because I think he's signed an end of contract already.
Oh, really?
That club in Belgium. So I think he's on his way out.
Right. Oh, yeah, I remember about that. Okay, that makes sense.
Pendant is out. That was a weird signing. Isiar Drame comes back. I think I think he is part of just the system of get him in, get him playing, get him sold. AJ Marcucci, for everything that I have read, is like the next Victor Valdez. Like people were saying, he's literally making these saves out of nothing. Super athletic, good shot stopper, good command of his box. I think he stays. Luca Lewis, we bought him from Torino. I wouldn't assume that we bought him from Torino to sit him on RB2 and then cut him. So I think they both come back. I think one of them ends up back down there at Red Bull 2.
Luca Lewis is my guess.
Luca, yeah. But again, that's something to see. But for me, Edwards, Fabio Coronel, Monzon, Davis, Long, Drame, Marcucci, and Lewis all stay. Duncan, Pendant, Royer, Mera, Clark, Gutman, Diarra, gone. And that, my friends, is exactly what will happen in MLS this offseason in terms of people leaving. And we'll update this as teams make their announcements about what we think and what actually happens. And I'll post it on Twitter and make fun of Connor every time I mess up.
Sure.
So thank you everybody for listening and watching. Connor, you got anything else to say?
Nope, nothing else.
Rock on. Well, we hope you enjoyed. We hope you follow, like, subscribe, follow us on all social medias and stuff because that's always cool. And we will see you on the next episode of the Designated Players Podcast. See ya.